What if anime were more than just entertainment? What if it was pointing us to something deeper? Something that actually can fill our deepest longings that anime produces in us. Love, joy, happiness, justice, redemption, forgiveness. What if the anime we watch can be viewed in such a way that points us to something or someone? Hey, welcome to Anime Relatable, where we take the shows that we love and enjoy and relate them to our real life in hopes to point people to Jesus. I realized that over the past few weeks, a ton of people have come across the channel from certain videos lately. First, I want to say I appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with me and rocking with this channel. But I've also realized, since doing Anime Relatable, there will be a myriad of people that come to the channel, whether it be Christians, non-Christians, anime fans, or people that just like watching interesting videos. And I love that. But I think there are certain expectations sometimes from the viewers that people expect from a channel concerning whatever sort of topic, or assumptions on what type of channel they may or may have, come across. So with that, I figured that I should give it an introduction and show you or tell you what exactly I do here, and you can decide for yourself whether or not you want to stick around. There have always been anime commentary channels that have existed and currently exist today, and there's good reason for that. Anime is awesome, and it's one of the most attractive ways of storytelling that is in our current digital age. People like Giga, the Anime Man, For Never World, Mother's Basement, Chibi Reviews, all of these anime channels exist for specific purposes and have carved themselves in this anime commentary niche with their own distinct voices, from anime news, breaking down opening theme songs, or reviewing trash anime, and oftentimes spirituality or real life connection to what people are experiencing isn't the focus of that content sometimes, which is great. I don't think every anime YouTube channel needs to find connection to our lives in some way, nor do I think every anime needs to do that. But oftentimes, people watching these animes are experiencing and voicing something different. In a recent poll, Gen Z, 54% of Gen Z globally loves anime. That's more than the number of people who vibe with Kendrick Lamar and almost rivals the Swifties and King James fans. With access to more media and technology, it's blasted open a way for most of the entire world to consume this great art of storytelling. Some people use anime to escape. Some people really enjoy visual or storytelling aspects. Some people love complex characters they come across, and there's a reason for this. We as humans like stories. We connect to anime because of its stories. Human beings were made to listen to and enjoy stories. Every ancient text kind of comes in the form of a story. Anime that you watch and listen to, manga that you read, are influenced by some type of story that the mangaka that has been inspired by. We use stories to explain our day, to explain our world, to explain that crazy confrontation you almost had in the parking lot because a granny in a wheelchair took your parking spot. We use stories to make sense of our reality. Believe it or not, people find meaning and purpose and inspiration and value systems from the stories that are being told, not because the characters in the show are saying or living these things out, but because human beings who are created in the image of God have instilled their own values in the narrative that they are telling through the characters. There is spiritual, emotional, philosophical weight in these shows that you feel when the good guys win, or a scene happens that leaves your jaw on the floor, or a hype moment that puts you on a high for a few days because that character that you love, that you see yourself in, did something crazy that you can't wait to hop on Twitter and tell all your friends about. And the reason for that is that you and I were made for something more, and the things in our world, whether it be good food, a great cup of coffee, or a banger anime episode, pull on our longings for something more. And the question that we all have to ask ourselves is, how will that be fulfilled? And you can answer that question in a myriad of different ways, but how I see it and how this channel sees it, the anime you love, the characters that you geek over, the waifu that you sold your heart to, all of those point to us needing to be fulfilled, but they're temporary. But I do think those things point to the God of the universe, who has revealed himself in Jesus. If you made it this far, and you may not be a Christian, that may have upset you, but because you think that Christianity has nothing to do with Japanese anime, and you are probably right. But let me ask you a question. Why do you think the way you view the world, whatever that may be, deserves to be an interpretive lens which anime can be viewed, or the story should be told? I would assume that we all see anime as an art, right? And then as people who view this type of art or medium of storytelling, you have the right to see these stories however you see fit and connect them to the world in whatever way you want to. And you can also disagree. That's okay. That's fine. That's the beauty of art. The Christian story is about pointing people to the gospel story, to the hero par excellence. The hero of heroes is Jesus, who came into our world to live a perfect life, die a death that you and I deserve, and then rise from the dead so that we could be in relationship with the holy God. And you may disagree with that, and that's fine. I like to see the things through a Christian lens, see it differently. And you're not a Christian, and that's okay. This channel probably isn't for you. But one thing I will say is that you probably shouldn't act like the anime that you love so much is technically yours, that you need to defend it with your entire dying breath. You don't need to do that. There's other things to worry about in life, like a whole war that's going on in the world right now. Actually, you might find yourself back here, because I think every one of us needs hope. We need something to hang on to when life gets hard. I started Anime Relatable because I saw a gap. Great anime content from anime channels and mad Christian content that is really, really good, but I didn't see a space where the worlds collided. And I wanted to bring that to the table, especially because Gen Z in our current moment is one of the most curious faith generations that we've had in a while, who happen to also like anime. People are looking for something, and anime fans aren't exempt to life's biggest questions, like why do bad things happen to good people? Is there such thing as good and evil? What's my purpose in this life? I believe God isn't afraid of those questions, and I believe, according to Romans 1, how creation reveals that he exists. God can use anime, use his image bearers' creation to help us answer those questions. Not just me who sees this. Christian Anime Podcast, Nick with no K, Beneath the Tangle, Heaven Piercing, Geek Devotion, all of us see this and how these things connect to the Christian story in these ways that people aren't used to. That's the goal of this channel. Whether you are an atheist, an agnostic, a Christian, whatever, but you love anime, this is the place for you. But one thing that I won't do is turn down how I see anime connecting to the bigger story, pointing to a God who loves us and gave everything for us. And speaking of stories that connect to the bigger Christian story, my friends Ren the Governor and Craze Kai have officially dropped Volume 1 of their manga, Hunters of Illumis and FlipXFlop. FlipXFlop follows Dorian, chosen by God to fight evil. His weapon, a pair of flip-flops. But they're not just sandals. They represent the unique gifts God gives each and every one of us to fight for his kingdom. Hunters of Illumis starts in a world like Genesis, perfect order, shattered by chaos. And then a dark force rises from it until God sends his light through a hero to fight Story follows the main character Ume, who is trying to carry on her family's legacy as a hunter, but she struggles with the pressure and identity and calling, just like many of us do. Both stories are packed with biblical truth, relatable struggles, and a vision of God's kingdom, breaking into our world. A part of the Fried Ink crew, Craze Kai and Ren the Governor, have spent years perfecting their craft to bring you guys stories that look good, sounds good, and edifies the soul to the glory of God, all while wanting the fruit of their craft to be evident to people who are curious about Jesus. If you're interested, you can get yourself a copy on the Fried Ink website in the description of this video below. And if you like this type of content, welcome aboard. I hope you enjoy the journey as we do this together. Cool. I'll catch you in the next video.